Hello, Sara here and welcome back to my channel. We're going to be talking about the 10 signs to look for if you think you're an empath. So stay with me, but don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that I know, and comment below with any questions you have and I will answer them. Okay, so before we get into this 10 signs to understand if you're an empath, well, I want to give you a little bit of a personal story and a personal journey because I'm an empath and I'm also highly sensitive, so I'm both. I grew up not even realizing this. I mean, in the 90s, at least Italy at that time, nobody was actually talking about being empathic and actually giving value to that sensitivity. And oftentimes feelings would get minimized, and I grew up people-pleasing, codependent relationship with my mom, and also I grew up being the type A student's perfect girl that is everything that their parents want her to be. Now, fast forward my awakening journey, I realized during a soul adventure and a solo retreat that I did to unblock certain parts of my life that I was a true empath. And that changed my perspective of the world, because I mean, I've always known, but when someone is telling you that it's like, well, it's time to embrace that, all of your life starts to make sense. And that was like the full awakening to understand, like, oh, that's why I attracted this person, or that's why I behave like that, and these are the traits, and this is what empaths usually grow up doing. And so it's so interesting. And the best part is that if you realize you're an empath, and just like me, I have two little ones and they're both empaths, so my job is to raise conscious kids who are empaths, as well as helping women get to the root of the cause of the weight gain and emotionally heal. But anyway, let's get right into the 10 signs that you are an empath. The first one is that you are so aware of the vibe of the room. Have you ever entered a birthday party or a meeting and you're so aware of everyone's energy, everyone's mood? You're like, uh-oh, something is not quite right. You know, I mean, everybody has that kind of like sixth sense or that gut feeling, but empaths will certainly feel it way stronger. The second one is a true empath will take on other people's emotions. The true empath will absorb other people's emotions. And what does that mean is that maybe like you're hanging out with your mom or with your friend and with your partner, or I don't know, with your classmate, and maybe that person, you supported them. Okay, you supported this person was going through something, maybe she or he was mad, and you come home and you're like, oh man, I'm so mad, and maybe like for days, and you're like, why is this happening? Well, what is happening is that you have absorbed other people's emotion. So part of the journey of an empath is to understand when that happens and prevent that, but also how to get rid of other people's energy that we have absorbed. Number 3 is people go to you for advice. And the innate ability of an empath is to be so compassionate and loving, and the empath wants to help, and therefore people will come to you, you know, in pain or seeking advices from you all the time, and you are so accommodating because you have a big heart and a big light. But the shadow side of this trait is that people will suck your energy and will leave you dry, and you do not want that, believe me, because that's gonna drain your energy and you're gonna feel so emotionally exhausted, and you're gonna ask, what is this? Why is this happening to me? Emotional TVs, movies, conversation might drain you. This is number 4. And being an empath means that we feel other people's emotions. So even if we're listening to, let's just say a podcast, but it's not really a high vibe podcast, well, definitely that's gonna drain our energy. Same thing with like very intense, like dramatic or horror movie. Like for an empath, that's no bueno, like no good, okay? Because the empath will just feel so much, and be careful because it can lower your vibrational state. And so you want to keep your vibration high, high, high. That's actually one step in order to manifest the life of abundance. So make sure that you're very aware of what you're listening to, what you're watching, the informations and visual things that you are constantly surrounding yourself with. Number 5 is that you are sensitive to noise and light. This is very common, and people might have called you, oh, you're too sensitive, might have said you're too much. Well, you are sensitive, and oftentimes too much light or too much noise can really affect you and disturb your nervous system, because your nervous system doesn't run like normal people's nervous system. And so I want you to be aware of that, and I want you to kind of like do whatever it's in your best power to make yourself comfortable and have the permission to do so, because you don't have to please others. You don't have to stay in a room with like loud music if that it's too much and it's affecting you. Like, you can leave that situation. So just acknowledge that and realize that you don't need to go through that situation, you know, or that experience if that makes you feel totally bad. Number 6 is that an empath will always know if you're lying. And you might think, well, that's the gut feeling. And yes, it is the innate ability of an empath to be a lie detector, which means that you know when people are giving you BS, and you just read through the lines, and that's one of your superpower, and just own it. Because, for example, in my own experience, I was not really using that, and I was so naive, and I really believed that everyone was good instead of listening to my own gut feeling, or what it is, the empath's instinct and intuition, and that got me in trouble big time. But I just want you to know that whatever you're feeling is true and honest, and you need to honor that. Number 7 is that you worry a lot of what other people think of you, and that is something that you know, it's a trait that can harm you if you're not careful with that, because I know that you want to please others. I know that you're seeking that validation and that love from others, but just be mindful to not care too much of what everyone is thinking of you, and only just care of what the people who you love the most think of you, and that have a high respect of your path, your life purpose, or respect of just you. That's a very important distinction, because otherwise you will try just to mold yourself into different shapes just to please others, and that's never gonna get you anywhere. Number 8 is that you are afraid of confrontation and you avoid the conflict. So a lot of empaths will not set boundaries, will literally please others just because they don't want to deal with it. They're so tired. They don't want to have, the conflict for an empath is too much to handle, especially if it is not handled in the right way. If it's not handled maturely, it can really harm and bring down the energy of an empath. And so I want you to know that it is okay to set boundaries, even if that might cause confrontations, but the fear of causing confrontation will cause confrontation. So kind of getting rid of that fear and just realizing that you're just setting boundaries because you love yourself, that's going to help majorly, because people are going to feel your energy, that it's actually coming from a place of love for yourself. And that usually helps in deviating confrontations, because you're seeing it in a nice way, and you're really like mindful, and you're not wanting to hurt others, but you need to speak up for yourself. Okay, but yes, the quality and innate trait of an empath is that they do not want to have any confrontations because they are really sensitive. Number 9, you worry too much. And yes, an empath will overthink everything a million times. Like if you use a different tone of voice than normal, an empath will sit there and be like, oh my god, why did they use this tone of voice? Why did they have that look? And so making sure that you pause and you don't go into a spiral, that's always helpful for an empath. And yeah, we worry because we just love people too much. And number 10, you can calm people. So the ability of an empath, which is a true gift, is that you have the ability to really balance and ground other people's emotions. You have the ability to calm other people, and that's an amazing quality, because people will connect to you deeply and you will connect with people so deeply. You will reach their heart. And so what I'm going to say about that is that use it. Connect with people heart to heart. That's going to be so authentic and so powerful. Just be aware and who is going to drain your energy, so that you don't give power to people who are going to take it, but you give power to people who need it and who are, for example, for me, that I'm helping people heal. I'm very aware of how much I can give, and I'm making sure that I protect myself and that they're doing the work so that they become more empowered and they're not just taking. And I hope this video was helpful. I wish I knew all of these things when I was younger, but this is being part of my path and awakening journey. And if you enjoyed the video, just make sure that you click the plus button and that you subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.